for me, I cannot ask my own or any of them, for example, to go further than or to do more than what they are doing. It has driven them out of the townships and shifted them to defined locations. It's a major progress.
Senators who contributed to the debate indicted the military of complicity.
My friend has said that information was given to the military, they went to the right while the people were on the left. What manner of, ineptitude is this?
If the issue of Nigeria being at war is getting to a point where we are no longer confident about the willingness of our military, then there's a huge problem.
Even these criminals that took these girls, that were the girls that escaped, confessed that they were using helicopters to bring food into the forest for them.
A lawmaker wants the president to personally take a visit to these areas.
Has the president of Nigeria ever visited Dua Front? It appears like the presidency is distance phobia. When something happens in Abuja, the president will be there. Daily our people are killed. We want to see our president go visit our places, give confidence, support, some encouragement to our people.
What has been the role of our neighboring countries in fighting the scourge?
Chad cannot tell me they are not aware. Niger cannot tell me they are not aware. Cameroon cannot tell us that they are not aware. Some of them, I will say, they are aiding and abetting what is going on here in Nigeria.
For the Senate President, the insurgents can be eradicated if all hands must be on deck.
What has happened in Chibok can happen anywhere, because these are people who are prepared to die. They don't care the consequences on this country. So my plea is that all hands must be on deck in this war.
The upper chamber, however, urged the federal government and all security agencies to seek the cooperation of the international communities in the area of advanced technological measures, including dialogue towards rescuing the abducted girls. From Abuja, and Sikak Evans, STV News.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has summoned service chiefs to brief members on efforts at rescuing the schoolgirls abducted in Chibok, Borno State, by suspected Boko Haram members at the resumed sitting of the lawmakers in Abuja after a 3-week Easter break. The House condemned the abduction of the girls and berated the armed forces for allegedly being slow in efforts to rescue the schoolgirls. Those expected to appear by the House included the Chief of Defense Staff, State, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, and the Chief of Air Staff. And staying with the abduction of the girls, scores of bewildered parents of female students of the Federal Government Girls College, Chibok, in Borno State, were abducted by the dreaded Boko Haram insurgents 2 weeks ago from their hostels, staged a protest at the National Assembly in Abuja today. It is 2 weeks since the unfortunate incident in Chibok area of Borno State, where over 200 girls were abducted from their school. The incident, which occurred April 14, has been trailed by confusion, anguish, appeals, and search operations. Correspondent Adesu Amora reports.
No one can possibly understand the agonizing weight of the parents of the abducted girls in Chibok. 2 weeks gone, and the fate of the teenage girls in the hands of the abductors can only leave anyone concerned distraught, with unconfirmed reports suggesting the teenagers may have been married off in neighboring countries as Cameroon and Chad. The pressure on the Nigerian government and the military becomes more intense. Although the government says it is doing all it can and assures it is on top of the situation, the manner and approach is left to yield any result so far. Several eyewitnesses say the girls were driven in convoys for several kilometers and undetected by security agents, which questions their ability and affirms the severe limitations of the military strategy in the fight against the insurgency. In the first few days of the incident, it was utter confusion on the number of girls that were missing, leaving the Nigerian military to retract an earlier statement suggesting only 8 girls were unaccounted for. Subsequent revelations, however, revealed that 230 girls were abducted. It will be recalled that some of the girls, now united with their family, escaped from their abductors and were not rescued by the military. The perceived silence following the tragedy has said more than the plans to rescue the teenage girls forcefully taken from their school in the middle of the night.
And the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Pastor Ayo Risejafo, has accused described insurgents operating in the country as cowards. He said that their strategy in recent attacks on innocent citizens in some parts of the country was detestable, calling for a mass action against them. Pastor Risejafo called for a total review of the strategy in combating the insurgency and called on citizens to support security agencies in the fight. He called on the road transport workers to support security agencies in the fight against insurgency in the country. According to him, people, irrespective of religion, ethnic and political differences, should work toward peace in Nigeria. Now, the protracted military campaign in the northeast part of the country has stretched the capacity of officers and men of the armed forces. STV's Lawrence Sumete in this report gives a first-hand report of experience inside the Bulambili military camp in Maiduguri, Borno State.
Bulambule is a remote village between Algamo and Zambisa Forest, where terrorists have been attempting to establish a stronghold in their campaign. A vast expanse of land, originally used as the office of the Borno State Universal Basic Education, the site is now a makeshift camp for soldiers. This is the Bulambule camp inside the 195 Battalion of the Nigerian Army here in Maiduguri. This is a temporary base for officers and men to refuel, have some rest after some tough time in the battle line. Officers and men are seen taking a rest after an all-night military operation. 2 suspected terrorists are detained here, awaiting interrogation. A fallout from last night's military operation. The 2 were earlier arrested at a local market while trying to procure foodstuff. Vandalized operational vehicles and shells from explosives are reminders of their campaign. The GOC and other senior personnel go around the camp, boosting the morale of men. The last 24 hours have been grueling, we are told.
Well done, gentlemen. The nation appreciates what you are doing.
That's why we came to see you, to tell Nigerians that they are working hard. And they all appreciate you. Just keep working hard. Well done.
Across the camp, officers and men are at alert, an indication that danger may not be far away. Many are firmly inside trenches that dot the perimeter of the camp.
For all that you are doing as far as bringing peace to this part of the country is concerned. On this note, I wish to say a very, very big thank you and well done to all of you for your courage and dedication.
Ironically, the arrest of this suspect is to later set up a chain of events later at night. The insurgents were said to have attacked this base in order to free the captured suspects. During the deadly encounter, the defense headquarters say 40 suspected terrorists died, while 4 soldiers lost their lives and 6 were wounded. Across the northeast, this seems to be the challenge of the Nigerian Army in its current anti-insurgency campaign. Lawrence Omoite, STV News.
And away from tackling insurgency in what seems to be another harvest of criminals, the State Police Command today paraded 33 suspected criminals. The State Police Commissioner, Mr. Felusha Adebanjo, paraded the suspects who confessed to the crimes, solicited for public support in the war against crime. Nosa Wadae was at the parade.
Edo State Police Command has paraded another set of suspects alleged to have involved in crimes ranging from murder, armed robbery, courtesan, unlawful possession of firearms, among others. Parading the suspects before newsmen in Benin, the State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Folonsho Adebanjo, expressed the command's commitment to the safety of lives and properties in the state. He called on the people of the state to form a partnership with the police, as always feeding them with useful information to enhance effective crime fighting.
Members of the public that should continue to support the police anywhere in the world. Cannot do it alone. All of us must join hands. People must make sure that take note of the immediate environment and report all suspicious activities to the police.
Among those arrested were suspected robbers who raided computer shops at Mission Road, Benin recently. Some of the suspects admitted to the crimes charged against them, while others spoke on level of their involvement.
Me, I didn't go to the come and say, you want to sell laptop. I make your ask this one, I go buy laptop. I never knew the laptop port was stolen. That's all I knew. I was not there, I never knew any of them. I'm here for robbery and murders.
Is it true?
It's true, sir. I don't know the reason why I'm here. I'm a driver. I was just surprised one afternoon like that. I just came from work. I saw this guy going to arrest me. I didn't know why he arrested me.
Items recovered from the suspects include 12 guns, 5 rounds of live ammunition, 67 cartridges, 7 computer laptops were recovered. Meanwhile, Falanshaw Adebanjo called on the citizens to be conscious and alert to public places like markets, social gatherings, amongst others.
We all realize the fact that the preservation of a peaceful society is not the sole responsibility of the police and other security agencies, but it is a task for all those citizens to make the state a safer and better place to live and work without fear of being victims of crime and criminality.
The police boss, however, thanked Edo State Governor Mr. Adams Oshomole for his immense support to the police command. Nosa Uwadiaye, STV News.
And still to come, President Jonathan sacks his special advisor on political affairs. Details in just a moment. Join us again.
Be the heroes of your streets as Pepsi brings you the Pepsi Street Cup Tournament. Register your team before May 17th for a chance to win cash prizes. For details on how to register, go to www.facebook.com/Pepsi Nigeria.
10, Fumi wanted to be a chemist. At 15, an engineer. At 17, she was accepted into a prestigious university. Followed by tragedy. Her father died. Yet, at 21, she still graduated top of her class. Choose life. Book a plan for the ones you love and keep the music playing long after you're gone. Mansard Insurance. For life and living.
You may wonder why I switched to layer milk. Well, I got hooked after my fitness trainer told me about the good stuff inside. You should try it.
Exercise and making good nutrition decisions like drinking calcium-enriched loyal milk every day is vital because it helps you nourish your bones and body so that you can live a more active life every day.
That's why I encourage my clients and ensure that my family gets their loyal milk too.
So, make that switch to calcium-fortified loyal milk because it's what's inside that matters.
You're watching STV News at 10. President Jonathan today terminated the appointment of his special advisor, political, Ahmed Gulad, with immediate effect. A statement from the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ruben Abati, quotes the President thanking the former special advisor for his services to the present administration and wishing him success in his future endeavors. It will be recalled that there had been a war of words recently between Mr. Gulak and Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Godswill Akpabio. The national leadership of the National Conscience Party has inaugurated its Imo State Executive Council of the party. At a congress conducted in Owerri, the state capital, Mr. Sam Iwehu emerged as the state party chairman unopposed alongside other ESCO members. The new state chairman promised that he and his team will ensure the party's victory in 2015.
It's my state and my party that I will live up to expectation. We are going to do all within our reach to make sure that this party win election 2015.
This man all failed, as you can see, it failed to the brain. And the people are very, very enthusiastic. And we had support from the youth base, and which is very, very critical to us. And then we now have a deputy woman leader, deputy chairman, who is a woman. And then we have a research director, who is also a woman. That shows you that we are capturing all areas of what the party stands for.
Justice Ahmed Mohammed of the Abuja Federal High Court has denied claims by the House of Representatives that he had issued an order of interim injunction stopping investigations into Petroleum Minister jet scandal. The judge summoned the House of Representatives to appear before the court on May 5 to clear the air on the information. The spokesman of the House of Representatives, Honorable Zakari Mohammed, had at a press briefing yesterday announced that the House had received a court order which stopped the Public Accounts Committee from going ahead with the probe. However, when the case came up for hearing today, the judge denied issuing any restraining order against the House of Representatives. Justice Mohammed initially blamed journalists for the misinformation before he was informed that the false report actually emanated from the spokesman of the House of Representatives. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Aminu Tambuwal, has declared that the House had resolved to seek a legal opinion on the decision of Petroleum Minister Mrs. Diezani Alison Madueke to sue the legislature over the investigation into the private jet scandal. Mr. Tambuwal clarified the stance of the House amid conflicting accounts on the exact position of an Abuja High Court on the matter. He said when he was briefed on the issue yesterday, his first reaction was to advise the Committee on Public Accounts to tarry a while to enable the House to get the true picture of things. And the federal government has declared Thursday as public holiday to commemorate this year's Workers' Day. The Minister of Interior, Abba Moro, congratulated Nigerian workers on their commitment in the face of current challenges. He enjoined them to support the government in its efforts to improve the work environment and their living conditions. And staying with labour matters, members of the Nigerian Labour Congress today continued their picketing of the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company PLC. The workers blocked the entrance to the main office of the electricity company near Challenge Roundabout in Ilori. The premises of the electricity company was totally deserted as the gate was locked, preventing both human and vehicular movements into and out of the premises. The chairman, NLC Kwara State Chapter, Mr. Farouk Akombi, claimed that the Labour Union embarked on the exercise to protest against the alleged poor services of IBET and alleged high charges to subscribers. Now to education, the protest by striking lecturers of Nigeria's polytechnics and colleges of education has been disrupted. The protest held at the Federal Secretariat, Abuja, was disrupted today when police officers fired tear gas as the protesters, made up of lecturers and students. The protest was organized to show displeasure at the federal government's handling of the strike by polytechnic lecturers ASOP and college lecturers KERSU. Both unions have been on strike since last year, with hundreds of thousands of students unable to attend lectures.
For the past 1 year, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUP, has been on strike alongside colleges of education, KERSU, staying back at home for 4 months. The students who took their protest to the National Assembly to press home their demand believe the lawmakers will urgently wade into the matter after a series of negotiations with the federal government, which has not yielded any positive result. The aggrieved students and lecturers chanted solidarity songs, carrying placards with different inscriptions, but the security personnel used water cannons and tear gas to disperse the protesters.
You can see that. This is a peaceful protest. See what they have turned it into. You can see that.
All of us here are leaders in our own rights. We've come from all over the Federation, allowed us to go to the National Assembly. We have notified the National Assembly. We are coming to deliver a letter. And this thing would have been a very peaceful rally. There wouldn't have been any tendency for coercion. So the police caused this thing you are seeing now.
Number one, the infrastructural decay. People are sitting on the ground to learn in a tertiary institution. Number two, there is a visitation report, a needs assessment report that the government have refused to bring since 2012. Number 3, there is the Botanical Commission that has not been established.
We don't have an enabling environment to work.
There is discrimination.
There is discrimination, especially we that are in the colleges of education. When you are a PhD holder in the college of education, by the time you are going to the university to work, they will drop you down.
Special advisor to the president on youth affairs arrived at the scene with intention to calm the aggrieved students.
Can you people just please?
No, we only asked them to go and stay there. They said they must go to
call him to confirm that your president has gone there, so you people can.
There are about 5 of them. About 5 of them they have gone.
According to them, poor learning environment, inadequate infrastructural development, lack of promotion, the discrepancy between HND and BSc holders, among other issues, is a major problem. They are hopeful that the federal government and relevant stakeholders in the education sector will urgently wade into the matter so that they can go back to classroom. Grace Ike, reporting for STV News.
And staying with the education sector, university students have been advised to be more focused and dedicated in their studies in order to sustain top quality education in the country. This was the view expressed by guests at this year's Reunions Day of the Law Graduates University of Lagos. Correspondent Emeka Moya reports.
The reunion brought together past and present students of the Faculty of Law of the institution. It also brought back memories of academic life and provided the platform for the former students to share their plans of providing quality education not only in their former alma mater, but also in other institutions.
This is our first reunion, and right now, as you've rightly pointed out, I'm sure it's going to be part of the things we're going to look into. I mean, this is a really big step. You hardly find university classes doing reunion, and this is the first. But I'm sure that after this, we have a lot of successful people here, and I'm sure if we pull resources together, I mean, it's something we'd look at. So maybe in another 10 years, it would have improved.
Some of our members were at Unilag recently to see areas of need and how we can come in and help. So from now on, this is the essence of this reunion. So we can get together, sit down, and talk about how to move academic excellence forward in Nigeria. And,
we're working with the Legal Council, of Nigeria in promoting legal education. We don't just want legal education to stop where it is today. We don't just want people to, you finish school, you do your masters, and all you just do, you go to court.
The lecturers believe that even though the standard of education seemingly appears to have dropped, their institution has not compromised on quality.
There's this cliche that the standard of education is falling. That's the general thing. But then you have to play it against the background that University of Lagos takes in only the best.
It's a grand effort on their part. It's quite exciting to find people who left 10 years ago coming together in this joyous mood.
I think in the year past, like 10 years ago and the 10 years after, students were more dedicated, more devoted. They were serious with their studies.
The reunion also featured music performance and is the fourth since the students passed out 10 years ago. Emeka Moy, STV News, Lagos.
Away from education now, the federal government has explained the reason for embarking on the construction of the second Niger Bridge. Representatives of the Minister of Works, Bashir Yuguda, said the bridge, when completed, would improve socio-economic activities in the country. He described the project as part of President Goodluck Jonathan's transformation agenda. Correspondent Esther Okoma reports.
It was a moment of relief for people in the southeast region when the federal government, at an elaborated ceremony, unveiled the plan to conduct the second Niger Bridge. But uncertainty gripped in when there was a speculation that the project has been abandoned. At an event in Lagos, federal government dispelled the rumors saying the project is on course.
The contractor, that is Julius Berger with their consortium, they have confirmed they are on the site. Also one of the consortium, that is the Sovereign Wealth Fund, the MD has also confirmed that the project is on course. All the environmental issues that the Ministry of Environment has raised are issues that ordinarily can never stop a project. and that has not happened. Second Niger Bridge is on course. Mr. President has commissioned it. The work is going on.
On behalf of the federal government, the Minister of State for Work said the bridge upon completion will reduce loss of man-hours spent on the existing bridge.
And exactly what we are doing today is exactly what the President is doing under the transformation agenda. We have to show ingenuity, we have to show creativity, we have to show that, yes, as professionals, we can add value to the system. And this is value addition to the system.
Poor state of the Niger Bridge, constructed in 1965, has been a source of major concern to the people in the region. Esther Okuma, STV News, Lagos.
In business news, Group makes cakes for small-scale businesses. That and many more in our business segment. Join us again.
You got a permit for this thing? Experience the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil. Collect 3 gold crowns to smell Brazil. There are also millions of instant prizes to be won. Winners will be announced every Sunday on NTA Newsline.
What? Oh, sorry. James? Yes? You had party here last night?
Yeah. Need cleaner, painter, carpenter, or even a hospital? Whatever product or service you're looking for, find it on vconnect.com, Nigeria's largest local search engine.
Thanks for staying with us. Bank customers in Africa have expressed stronger confidence for their primary financial service provider than seen globally. Customers in Kenya are the strongest advocates by 62%, followed by South Africa 51% and Nigeria 46%. This was said in a seminar in Lagos. Correspondent Esther Okuma again reports.
With statistics showing confidence and trust building among bank customers, speakers say customers in emerging markets have recorded a higher increase in confidence than the global average. Across Africa, they say, confidence has increased most in Nigeria by 69%, followed by Kenya 66% and South Africa 33%.
The bankers, they need to understand that every customer that walks through their door to open an account and bank with them has a choice. They can go to Bank A, they can go to Bank B if they are not well treated, and that they need to refocus and ensure that customer service, customer satisfaction is key on the agenda.
Do customers get what they need? That's one element of trust. Do banks say what they're going to do and then do what they say they're going to do? That's another element of trust. And what we're seeing is that of the questions that we asked, the customers, the 32,000 customers that we surveyed around the world, the Nigerian customers felt that that their banks were trustworthy because of these elements.
From the basics of day-to-day transaction to resolving problems and helping customers achieve their financial goals, how well are banks performing on key interactions?
Banks that treat their customers well, where the customers feel that they are well treated, where the customers feel that whenever they have issues, the banks respond timely. You know, that the banks communicate with them regularly, that the banks are transparent, the kind of fees, the rate of fees they charge and what they charge. The customers that feel confident about this, that are satisfied with what they get from their bank.
Most banks seem to have a fairly strong corporate social responsibility agenda. I've seen it in quite a few banks here in Nigeria, that banks are interested in doing that, making sure that they're providing products and services and putting associated their brand with positive things, which obviously is good. Do banks need to do more for customers? I think all banks realize that they need to be more customer-centric.
With the survey of over 32,000 banking customers in 43 countries, experts say providing banking services which must earn the highest levels of trust in order to retain customers and create genuine loyalty is key for improvement in banking sector. Esther Okuma, STV News, Lagos.
Financial institutions have been advised to cease from relying only on traditional collateral-based approaches of giving finance to SMEs and rely on reliable scoring system. This is part of the recommendation made at a dialogue aimed at addressing challenges of SMEs and access to finance. Our correspondent was there.
The small and medium-scale enterprise is said to be the engine room of any developing economy. This sector, no doubt, has been faced with a series of challenges which include access to finance. To this feat, credit bureaus say they are set to devise ways of addressing these impediments.
So what the credit bureaus is trying to do is to let them know that with the help of the credit bureaus, they can have access to finance through the financial industry.
Credit bureaus are in a position to have a database, information base on the small and medium enterprises. And with such information available, banks and other financial institutions will be able to easily assess, evaluate requests from the SMEs.
Having the records or the names or the data may not be all that is needed to obtain credit.
Some of the reasons given by financial institutions for refusal of finance to SMEs is the excessive risk involved and credibility question of some SMEs.
The perception of SMEs, they're perceived to be high risk, and that one of the major constraints to them getting credit is the fact that they might default.
When you have your information on the credit bureau, but going to a way in which, at the end of the day, your reputation becomes your collateral. So when you find out that you take a loan, you pay back repeatedly over time. When the banks access it, they see this, and then it becomes a way of life.
The way the bank perceive SMEs, you see, not all SMEs are really bad or they cannot pay.
Some recommendations were made for stakeholders, which include SMEs thriving to improve their credit scoring.
So we're telling them, or we're asking them to go back to their tables and re-strategize using industry stakeholders like us who work with these SMEs to be able to come up with innovative products for SMEs without property as collateral.
Credit reporting system is an enabler of financial system infrastructure. Now, if this initiative must succeed, it is said that the financial service providers must engage with and actively use the financial structures being created by credit bureaus in Nigeria. David Obabudike, STV News, Lagos.
And to the capital market report now, investors staked 2.83 billion naira on 221.91 million shares, transacted in 4,784 deals. The market capitalization dipped 39 billion naira to close at 12.667 trillion naira. Also, the all-share index depreciated by 0.31% to close at 38,480.60 points. Straight to the foreign scene now, where Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta has signed into law a controversial marriage bill legalizing polygamy. It brings civil law where a man was only allowed one wife into line with customary law, where some cultures allow multiple partners. Controversy surrounded an amendment to the bill supported by many male MPs, allowing men to take more wives without consulting existing spouses. Traditionally, first wives are supposed to give prior approval. And gunmen have stormed Libya's parliament, forcing MPs to abandon a vote on a new prime minister. Correspondents say lawmakers left the building after hearing gunshots. The attempted vote followed the resignation of Abdullah Altini, who stepped down as Prime Minister earlier this month after he and his family were targeted by militiamen. Libya has been plagued by instability since armed groups toppled Muammar Gaddafi's regime in 2011. And next is entertainment news.
Veteran filmmaker Amaka Igwe is dead. News of her death broke in the early hours of Tuesday. According to reports, she succumbed to complications arising from an asthma attack. The news of her death sent shockwaves across the creative industry, where Amaka played a major role in the evolution of today's Nollywood. Her works include the long-running soap opera Checkmate, Rattlesnake, a movie trilogy that opened the doorway for Nollywood. Her other works include popular family comedy Fuji House of Commotion, among several other hit movies. She was well known as a content producer through her Top FM radio station, as well as her annual movie content and market exhibition called Bob TV. STV Entertainment News visited her residence in Ikeja, but met it under lock and key. On another visit to her production office, still within the same estate, this was the situation. We met people walking in and out of the building. Some were with long faces, even as there was an ongoing production with the crew getting set to shoot. According to one of the directors we spoke to off camera, he said they were saddened by the turn of events, but their late boss had trained them to ensure always that the show must go on. Meanwhile, tributes have been pouring in from colleagues and associates of the late veteran filmmaker.
It's a big shock. It's a big loss. Nobody can feel the fact that she's great and workaholic, passionate producer and director, a wonderful writer. I still do not want to believe she's dead. I honestly, I don't know what to say. I'm just trying to back. It's shocking.
Give that a thought. It wasn't imagined that Amaka could pass on at this time, because she was a time mover of this industry, a woman of robust ideas, a great certain writer, director, and producer. You know, she's a visionary. She's always thought about Nollywood as an industry that can penetrate not only Africa but the world. And we have been able to tell the African story, as she's always she was always talking about. And we hope that someday Nollywood will be competing with the best of movie industries around the world. Unfortunately, she's not lived to see the actualization of that part of her dream.
It's a painful thing. The industry is going to miss her. We're really going to miss her and everything she brings, not just as a filmmaker, but as someone who has concern for the industry. She's on the forefront of everything we do in the business. Everything. If you were talking about bringing 5 filmmakers together to talk about something, Amaka Igwe will be there. Anywhere, Amaka Igwe will be there. So it's gonna be a very, 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 very painful departure, you know, and we're all gonna get affected.
Other stars have taken to social media to express her passing. Amaka Igwe was born on the 2nd of January 1963. She began her career as a young lecturer assistant at the then Anambra State University before branching out to television and movie production. Amaka Igwe won several movie awards and was recently honored by President Goodluck Jonathan with the Member of the Federal Republic honors. Sources close to the family said she was working until late Monday night on another movie production before she succumbed to death in Enugu. She is survived by her children and husband, Charles Igwe.
the gentle soul of the distinguished producer Amaka Igwe. Rest in peace. Moving on to sports, 3 male and 2 female boxers will represent Nigeria in boxing event of the Africa Youth Games taking place in Botswana next month. The Nigerian boxers returned to the country from World Youth Boxing Championship in Bulgaria last week and have intensified training ahead of the games. Lightweight boxer Yetunde Odunuga and coach Adura Olale have revealed that the experience and exposure gathered from the global competition will aid Team Nigeria perform well at the Africa Youth Games.
First time of getting an international experience, and it was so far because I got to quarterfinal. It's my first fight, my first experience in my life. So I'm very happy.
Boxer then did a good job, and we have a good experience. My female and the male, we done well. Already our female, they are one of the best in the world because they have the opportunity and they have been home long time. And this is the great opportunity for them to go outside and show themselves.
From boxing, we move on to football, where the Nigeria Football Federation has dismissed as totally fallacious the claim by a self-confessed and convicted Singaporean match fixer Wilson Raj Perumal that he helped Nigeria qualify for the 2010 FIFA World Cup finals in South Africa. In a statement in Abuja, the NFF declared that the entire claim by Perumal was nothing more than distinct fiction and insisted that the true heroes of Nigeria's qualification for the 2010 FIFA World Cup finals were the federal government, the NFF, players and coaches of the Super Eagles and the generality of Nigeria football fans. Amadu said that further inquiries should be directed to World Football Governing Body, FIFA, since the match was a FIFA competition qualifier. Furthermore, NFF's integrity officer, Dr. Mohammed Sanusi, stated that alongside the NFF match-fixing investigative officer, Dr. Christian Emerua, he is in communication with FIFA security on match-fixing matters, and they will dig deeper into the claim. The Nigeria Football Federation and the Egyptian Football Association have firmed up arrangements for the under-17 national teams of both countries to play a series of international friendlies in Nigeria and Egypt. NFF's Director of Competitions, Dr. Mohammed Sanusi, said on Tuesday that the Eaglets, who finished in 3rd place at the WAFU Under-17 tournament, which ended in Togo at the weekend, would host the first 2 matches in Nigeria on 28th and 30th May 2014. The reigning world champions will in July take on the winner of a preliminary fixture between Democratic Republic of Congo and Burundi as the race for the 2015 Africa Under-17 Championship in Niger hots up. And finally, on this segment of the news, Chelsea keeper Petr Cech and defender John Terry trained on Tuesday ahead of Wednesday's Champions League semi-final second leg against Atletico Madrid. Cech's season was set to be over after he dislocated his shoulder in the first leg, while Terry injured his ankle in the goalless draw. Eden Hazard and Samuel Eto'o were also fit enough to train, while midfielders John Mikel and Frank Lampard are suspended for the return leg at Stamford Bridge. Now, a main look at our top stories again. Senator David Mark seeks full military action against insurgents. President Goodluck Jonathan sacks Ahmed Gulak. Long wait continues for the return of kidnapped Chibok schoolgirls 14 days after the abduction. And in Syria, explosions killed 37 people. Thanks for watching. Remember, our news studio resumes at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. I am Chioma Ifanyo Bianing. Have a lovely night rest.